Talking to users is actually quite different from what you're imagining right now. It sounds like this weird, vague thing that everybody's supposed to do, but nobody does it. So let me tell you a story about how I kind of learned this weird concept. When I failed at my previous SaaS, I was very sad and distraught, but I knew there had to be a reason as to why I failed. So I started watching videos about why startups fail in the first place. And there was something that all of the YouTubers were mentioning. It's something called idea validation. Idea validation is when you know for a fact that there is a specific audience that has a specific problem willing to pay to get that problem fixed using your solution. Now, this concept was wildly new to me. I didn't know I actually had to know if the problem I'm trying to solve, one, even exists, and two, anybody else is even having it. And obviously, only later did I figure out nobody was actually having that problem. I made a SaaS product which nobody wanted to use because they didn't need to. And funnily enough, that even includes myself. I wasn't even facing the problem I was trying to solve myself, let alone asking whether other people were facing it. So if you're building your first product right now, please, for the love of God, turn off your brain and just listen to the advice in this video. Now, everything I mentioned previously falls under the umbrella of talking to users. And obviously, that's not the only scenario where you want to be in contact with your users or potential customers, but it is one of them. For example, right now I'm working on adding a little pop-up to my current SaaS that I'm building, which is called Shiori, that asks the user if they have any features they want to be implemented or if they have any concerns about the platform itself. This is also classified as talking to users, even though I'm not literally exchanging words with them in real life. Now, there are a ton of reasons why you might want to talk to your users, but the core reason is always they see things from a different perspective than you are, because you are the provider and they are the consumer. These two will always view the product through different lenses. For us, it's a cash cow, for them, it's a problem solver. Another reason is information asymmetry. That basically means that you as a creator always know more about the product than the consumer. You know about all the features, how they work, why they even exist, and exactly why you built every little thing. But your users don't. That's why you need to convey the value of your product to them in a way that they can understand how it can solve the problem. Remember, they are experiencing your product freshly. They don't know anything about it. And the problem with this is that it creates a gap that cannot be crossed unless information is transported from the creator to the consumer. So there's actually a couple ways that you can close this exact gap. So for example, you can make a feedback form that asks the user for their information alongside with anything else that you want to know as the creator of the product. That could be something like, how are you using my product? Now, in my experience, I actually found that this ends up in a lot of low quality submissions since the barrier to entry is so low, which is also why I cannot really recommend this method to beginners, since you have to be able to kind of scoop out the right ones or the ones that actually make sense. And in the beginning, you tend to take everything to heart, which is not the right way to go about it. The other method, which I personally recommend and that I personally do, is to literally book calls with your users. Now, I know you're freaking out right now. Wait, I actually have to talk to my users? Yes, that's the entire point of it. And if you don't want to listen, come back a year later and realize that I was right and that you were wrong. And the type of users that actually show up to these calls are the type of users that you absolutely want to satisfy with your product. When you're on a call with them, ask them questions like, how are you using my product in your day-to-day workflow? How has it been helping you so far? What's bothering you about it? What could be improved? And please be genuine. Don't just do this for the sake of it, since these people can actually notice. And remember, this is an insane opportunity for you to improve your product and even to work on yourself. And if you do this right, they might actually recommend your product to other people they know in the same kind of niche or industry. If you have any questions, ask them in our Discord community or let me know in the comments below. Until next time.